To the London Bridge Talks. Thank you for joining us online, and a particular warm welcome if this is the first time tuning in or visiting us. It's great to have you with us. My name is Tom Wright, to lead the London Bridge Talks. Today we begin our new series, Questions of Life. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be exploring the claims and credibility of the Christian faith and considering the answers it has to some of life's biggest questions. We hope you'll be able to join us as we continue in this series. In a moment, I'm going to read a passage from the Bible, and then we'll have an answer to our first question. This week we're considering this question: is Christianity just a crutch for the weak? Our speaker today is Tom Watts. He's the leader of a church here in central London called St John's, familiar to a few of you tuning in, I'm sure. Before we listen to that and before I read from the Bible, let me just explain a couple of ways you might want to just follow up if today's talk sparks interest. As we said, this is part of a series, so do tune in again next Tuesday lunchtime at 1:10 as we continue to consider big questions. Our speaker next week will be Richard Ledbetter, who used to be a professional footballer, and he'll be answering the question, what could be better than fulfilling your dreams? Alternatively, you might be interested in our online Christianity Explore course. You can find details of that on our website, londonbridgetalks.org. Just click on the menu and you'll see a tab called Looking into Christianity. There you'll find an email address where you can get details of our upcoming Christianity Explore course. A really excellent, informal opportunity to gather with a few others, as we said, online, and to consider questions in a bit more depth. Well, I'm going to read now from Matthew's eyewitness account of Jesus' life and teaching. If you've got a Bible to hand, do turn to Matthew chapter 8. You can find that towards the end of the Bible. If you're not familiar, you might want to find Matthew's Gospel in the contents page and look it up. When you're there, Matthew's Gospel, I'll read from chapter 8, verses 14 through to 22. Matthew chapter 8, and I'm going to start reading from verse 14 through to verse 22. And when Jesus entered Peter's house, he saw his mother-in-law lying sick with a fever. He touched her hand, and the fever left her, and she rose and began to serve him. That evening they brought to him many who were oppressed by demons, and he cast out the spirits with a word and healed all who were sick. This was to fulfill what was spoken by the prophet Isaiah. He took our illnesses and bore our diseases. Now, when Jesus saw a crowd around him, he gave orders to go over to the other side. And a scribe came up and said to him, "Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go." And Jesus said to him, "Foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head." Another of the disciples said to him, "Lord, let me first go and bury my father." And Jesus said to him, "Follow me and leave the dead to bury their own dead." Well, now we're going to listen to Tom Watts and his answer to our question today: is Christianity just a crutch for the weak? Obviously, Tom can't be with us live today for obvious reasons, so he's pre-recorded his answer to that question just last night. And you can either find that by clicking the link below me if you're on the London Bridge Talks website on the live stream page. You should find a link there. Or if you're on YouTube, you'll find the link in the description. Just click the link and you can watch his talk. And we hope that that'll be of some interest. If you do have questions, please do be in touch with us. And we'll hope to see many of you again next week as we continue our series. I'll leave you to watch Tom Watts.